Okay. Right then. Right then. Let's see if I can remember what the hell we're doing here then, shall we? Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, boys and girls? Hope we're well. I'm 80%. I should still not be here, but I can't not stream for that long. I was getting itchy over the weekend to throw a weekend stream up, and I just, I was trying to be sensible. Who was that? Chris, welcome in. Thank you very much for the 15. Appreciate it. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I was not planning on being ill. I hate being ill because, well, I don't mind being ill as long as it doesn't affect my voice. If it affects my voice, not good. For about 3 days last week, I could barely speak, so hence the lack of streams. You might have caught me a few places. I was lurking in a few other streams from time to time, but I had to get back to it. We had to do it. It's hot. Finland has turned summer on today somehow. The aircon's on for the first day. I was out with the dogs this morning and it was very toasty. I felt the need to take a quick shower before the stream, so hopefully we're nicely refreshed, ready to have a bit of a blast. Do we not get visions this week? Heroic visions are this week, right? Where's me news? Where's me news? Wowhead, where's me news? Do we not have visions this week? I'm pretty sure we have visions this week. Where's their timer thing? Heroic visions. Yeah, visions turn up this week. Ooh. I wonder what that's going to do to delves, you know? The interest in delves might disappear very rapidly when visions turn up. We will have to see. Lady Daisy, good morning. Let me say my hellos. Chalida, yes, we are back. Finland is hot at last. Welcome in. Chris, of course, thank you very much. Whoa, how are we doing? Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. It's going to be interesting to see how these change the meta for people's gearing. Is everybody on the delve grind right now? Is that what people are doing? Either delves or what are people doing? Trying to blast mythic plus 10s, I would guess. 10s is probably on the cards if you need crests. Visions turn up this week. How's Turbo been doing for people? I'm going to be honest, I've not paid any attention to Turbo, to be honest. Who be this? Goldzed, my man, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you, sir, or probably good evening for you. Thank you for bringing yourself and your friends. Chileda's still in Classic. Hey, it's all good. Classic is good fun. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to take a guess. Take a little bit of a guess that visions will kill people's interest in delves temporarily. Which I would also then wonder what that's going to do to delve mats. I haven't got an easy... Oh my god, my inventory is absolutely grim. Please don't look at my inventory. What are the delve mats called? I can't even remember. Let's just do tinderboxes. What's a tinderbox at these days? Less than 200 gold for a tinderbox. Oh my. And look at the amount of them. 173 gold. Market value of... That's actually high. That's a high price. That's higher than it's been. Well, there's a possibility. Now, whilst there is one a possibility, there is two not going to be that much interest in the materials, I don't think, particularly. Other than, maybe if everybody does get themselves a bunch of upgrades, maybe there will be some interest on some of them. Maybe some of them will start to disappear. I don't really know. I'm guessing it. Nullstone's at 40 gold. No. Wait, what? Null stones, 40 gold a piece. 33 gold for a null stone. 10 gold for a null lotus. Damn. How times do change. Null stones were what? 5,000 gold a piece early on in the expansion for quite some time. Holy. Damn, there's no shortage of them either, is there? 100,000 null stones. Sheesh. Did well off these back in the day, though. Bought and sold a bunch of those. What are these fellas looking like right now? This is, of course, Draenor prices. Maybe we do this so it's a bit easier to see.
Is that your wallet?
These are Draenor prices.
Both.
Oof. We still haven't dipped below 1 million on the mounts, though, which is positive to see. It means that people have hit a price point where they're really not willing to sell them for any less. Who was that? Jack, my man, welcome in. Good morning to you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for the 27. I do appreciate it. Null stones are 26 gold a piece on the US. Oh dear. It's really interesting to see that these don't seem to want to go any lower. People seem to be very, very, very reluctant to push these any lower. And this is clear to me that it's a sign that people are sort of, people are working based on maths right now. People are working on maths. They're working on the maths that it takes them X amount of time to farm 25 Mechanica, and that time is worth this.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
And that makes me feel like this is going to be pretty solid of a market for quite some time, because I am more than happy with these prices as they stand right now. More than happy.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
Whoa, 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 what's going on here? Everybody relax. Chill. What's going on here? Hype train first thing on a Monday morning. Thank you, boys and girls. We're done gifting a sub to RockX, or Rock. Thank you very much, appreciate that. Lady Daisy with the 23 months, thank you very much as well. Oh, 2 years next month. That'll be cool. Tracking Mechanica may be of interest. Realms covered equals the percentage of realms with one listed on the Undermine. Wait, what? This sounds like science that I need to see. Hang on, please hold. Change it, right, okay. Total EU Mechanica, value per Mechanica, the available... realms covered. So are we still saying that realms covered number percentage doesn't really seem to have changed at all. Wait, hang on. 12th, 13th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. So that's over like a week. Okay, that's not a very long time. But it shows stagnation, doesn't it? That there doesn't really seem to be... Stagnation's probably not the right word. Huntoran with a follow, thank you very much, welcome in. That shows mostly that they're moving about as fast as people are getting them. Which is cool. Supply is equaling demand, roughly. And now I know, obviously, a week is not a lot to, you know, take into consideration, but I would also... My valuation for this value per Mechanica is slightly less because I'm going by what... This is a number that makes me feel this is by, like, the market price of the items. I'm going by what the sale average of them is how I did my numbers. So my numbers look worse. My numbers are about 50-odd thousand gold, I think, for the value of a Mechanica right now. 54,000 is my custom source for Mechanica. 54,611 gold. That's based on the actual sale data, the limited sale data that we have. It's the average of the region's minimum and the region's median. Oh, okay. Well, that's also pretty fair value. 1117 could shake it with the Goblin event. I haven't looked into that yet. There's something along the lines of it's a Diablo crossover thing again, isn't it? Right. Portals are going to spawn. Portals are going to spawn. People are going to kill things. That sort of thing. Imagine if they put Mechanicas in the Goblin bags. That would be funny, wouldn't it? But yeah, the quantity of these available. Let me do this same on the Undermine. I wish the Undermine had custom search. Oh, I mean, it probably does have custom searches. I just don't know how to do it. If we go mount, let's do the one people care about, the Innovation Investigator. Oh my god, cheapest price. This is in arbitrage mode right now. Oh, I suppose this is a good point to talk about this, really. This arbitrage mode is really cool in the Undermine Exchange. It now shows, search results show the lowest price across the current region and the percentage of the realms which have that item up for sale. Makes the current realm irrelevant. So we can see with arbitrage mode selected, Margin Manipulator, Innovation Investigator, Asset Advocator are getting scarily close to 1 million gold on their absolute cheapest of cheap price. Yet the region median is still like 1.7, 1.8 mil. You kill 5 rares in the Undermine to make a Goblin spawn. So far, no loot from the Goblin, but everybody now is going to tag the rares. Interesting. It's going to make the big realms bigger then. It's going to make the big realms harder to get the tags on, but God bless for realm hopping. God bless having a character on every server, right? What's this one? Oh, okay. Woo's one step ahead of me, clearly. Okay, so we've got the mounts, the pets, regions lowest, the percentage of the realms covered. That's really interesting to see that the mounts are actually spreading themselves out wider than the pets. Pets are only present on about 40% of the realms. That's crazy. I need to start distributing these pets across different realms. The median is still 0.5 mil plus on a pet. Realistic sale value, less the auction house cut. 123 innovation investigators across the EU. Which in turn, yeah, there we go. It's showing the mounts having the lowest value per Mechanica, which is kind of odd. This is kind of backwards to what I expected. Very much backwards to what I expected. Going into this, I was quite convinced that players would Zerg rares for a few days, get hyper annoyed that they can't get enough to get 25, or they could, but they realize it's going to take them flipping forever, and just, you know, rage quit, buy a pet, sell it quick, right? Just, you know, just cash in, cash out situation. But it's clear that there's lots of people that are willing to grind out 25 to get the mounts, but then they're undervaluing the time spent doing it with these prices, I can categorically tell you, these prices, you will not be able to keep them in stock at this price, because you will never be able to farm up 25 Mechanica again fast enough relative to your sales, which is crazy. How did Man City lose the FA Cup? I have no idea. Did Man City lose the FA Cup? Literally no clue. Against a club that has never won a prize over 113 years. Who did they lose to? You forget I don't follow football. I will cheer Team England on during big events, but on a club level, I pay no attention. K-Chak's your man to speak all things football about. He's obsessed with it. Good time when I sold them on week 1. Oh yes, you sold one of the mounts for like 7 mil, didn't you? That's crazy talk. Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace won the FA Cup? Fair play. Jesus. Against Man City. Well, the world be bonkers. The world be bonkers. Right. Let's start getting some business up and running, shall we?
I have many lucky do's.
Killing time is fun, but we need to be killing rares instead of just killing time.
May your feet find good trails.
Did you watch the new player housing videos? I did, yeah. Player housing is looking good, right? It's looking good. Yeah, I suppose that all happened last week when I wasn't here, wasn't it? Well, I was physically here, not in spirit though, mind. If Preach is excited, it means it's good shit. It's when even the content creators are coming out saying that it's doing things that they wouldn't have even expected. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. A very good sign. A few features of player housing that stood out to me. The upper limit on placeable items being like 10k. That's a big number. That's a big number. That gives people a lot of freedom to go wild, which is, I think, exactly what people want with this, right? They want to be able to make hyper detailed little, because player housing often revolves into, oh, here's a grey square. Oh, well, I'll put a sofa in that corner and I'll put a bed in that corner. I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going to be very good at player housing, but I'm absolutely going to milk the shit out of you guys who will be incredible at it, right? The people who are good at player housing, you'll have people queuing up to see their housing. I'm really I see this. There's a whole my content creator brain gets going with this, right? There's a whole possibility that if Blizzard can do something that allows you to import and export players' templates, should we call them, for use of a better word, that you can sort of build something or build a room or have decor and you can package that up as a template and share it. Not only because doing so will drive absolutely everybody's desire to complete the collection, right? Because there'll be nothing worse than importing some content creators' design, decor, schematic, whatever we want to use, whatever word we want to use, importing somebody else's and then not having half of the assets yourself. That's going to that shareability of designs will basically pump engagement through the roof, right? Which is good for everybody involved. It'll allow the really, really good people to do fancy things. They can have like themed rooms, decor sets, all of this sort of stuff. You'll get huge amount of content driven around this. Huge. It could be really good. It could be really, really good. I think that's a critical thing for me, allowing players to share, because those that are super creative will have, or will want, or will be of demand to share their creativity. Because those dum-dums like me that, I mean, you guys have seen the decor in my studio, right? I don't care that much. My tech is more important to me. I deal with stuff that has a plug on the end of it. My wife Mrs. Manthius deals with all of the making things look nice. Yeah, I know, TV's off again. I'm sorry, Jack. I apologise. But if they can figure out a way to allow players to, like, share their housing stuff rather than it just being I made this house, come and see it situation, it could be good. It could be really good. I'm definitely excited to see it up and running. The fact that there is a fully playable version of it already is big. That means that we are likely to, well, my theory is we're going to get player housing at or around Christmas, since there's a strong suspicion that Midnight, we'll know obviously soon as 11.2 comes out. I think very quickly after 11.2, we'll get a good idea of exactly what their plans are for Midnight's launch, because it's entirely possible that not that far after 11.2, if they don't plan on doing a big detailed 11.3 in any way, shape or form, or like a fated season kind of thing again, that will very quickly roll into like Midnight Alpha sort of time. And then that will very quickly give us an idea of what the timeline will be for Midnight's launch. I'm still thinking like April next year could definitely be a Midnight launch. So a little under a year, really, is my guess. New streamers will be born doing only player housing decorations like in The Sims. There is a market for it. There's a huge market for it. Huge market for it. I mean, I know when we first saw player housing, I looked at The Sims as like as a point of comparison. And yeah, there's a huge crossover there. And this is a big play for Blizzard in a way, because it's something that's not going to be... Wait, what? It's going to be something that's not competitive, which is similar in vein to Delves, right? Delves aren't really competitive, especially after the first season, where they've basically made it possible for anybody to eventually do 11s just by doing Delves and nothing else. Comfortably do 11s as well. So without there being that competitive edge, it's not going to appeal to everybody. But now this is a second expansion in a row where a big headline feature of the game isn't a competitive one. Obviously the seasons, the raids come and they go, and the Mythic Plus is always there, and PvP exists, I'm led to believe. But them having the big headline features not be competitive aspects is really going to help just draw in huge amounts of people. Huge amounts of people. Player housing as well. Very possible that it will be super easy to like controller style navigate. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying we're gonna see Midnight launch on Xbox and flipping PlayStation, but the point is that it's clearly being designed with no add-ons, like simple. Like you could have a GeForce Now subscription, and you could be playing World of Warcraft, and you could live in doing housing potentially which is a corner of gaming that WoW doesn't really appeal to at all, particularly right now, but is a big corner of gaming. So I don't know. I'm spitballing ideas here, but it sounds fun to me. I'm excited nonetheless. Right, let's get some rares down, shall we? I think today's mailbox day. I should probably open the mailbox on these dudes today. Playing Doom with the Game Pass and GeForce Now combo plays very well. Something like a first-person shoot 'em up on GeForce Now, if you can get... Is the latency not terrible? I mean, if the latency is a non-issue, that's big. It's big. I mean, when you think about it these days, internet should be good enough, really. But yeah, that's big. Plays like a charm. Interesting. I haven't played the new Doom yet, actually. Is it like out now? So that... Is it... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've just realised that's probably like properly out now, isn't it? I know it came out last week, but that's that kind of like pay lots of money, get it 3 days before everybody else kind of thing. Which I'm never the biggest fan of either way, but... I mean, you know, World of Warcraft will make the exception because it's our bread and butter, but for other games I'm not overly sold on paying 50% more for the game just to get it 3 days before everybody else. And the reality is you're not getting it 3 days before everybody else, are you? You can pay less and get it 3 days late. I know that's the glass is half empty view on it, but it's the way you should look at it. Enshrouded, good to play when Season 2 ends. Saw Co playing it, was pretty solid. Enshrouded. I've heard of it, but I can't picture it off the dome. We're absolutely slapping these rares today. This is beautiful stuff. Let's haul ass to the mailbox while we do this. Oh, actually, Thwack might be up on this realm at the very same time. We could have stumbled on a God tier for the first one of the God shard for the first one of the day. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Waiting for the continuation of 2 Point Museum. I'm at level 4 now. It's fun. You must make sure not to go too fast. Not to go too fast. I suppose, in theory, fossils aren't going anywhere, right? Yeah, I enjoyed 2 Point Museum. One thing I would say is I'm accidentally too hooked on WoW right now. I've got this leveling up and getting everything set up, not only for this, but also to like build out a little bit faster. You know, my slightly lofty goal of having a level 80 on every server in the EU has kind of engrossed every spare hour of my day at the moment, whilst also simultaneously spending an hour or two every day killing rares and not progressing any further. So I'm kind of I'm not playing much else than WoW at this very moment in time. But yes, we will absolutely make a return to 2 Point Museum. And I know Satisfactory is also 1.1 goings live soon. There's a bunch of things that needs paying attention to. Foundry, for those who remember Foundry, a short time before the War Within launch, has just had a big update as well. Loads of stuff that needs paying attention to. Right, what's going on here? You had apparently nothing. Now, these dudes are level 80 now, which is intriguing, because that might means that some of these bits of gear is worth putting on. 513. 513. Okay, they're not incredible, are they? And actually thinking about it, any 610s that these guys pick up that are of the relevant... like that, for example, should just technically be put on right now. Annoyingly, now that they've dinged level 80, I need to actually, slowly but surely, put some gear on them. Okay, but otherwise, you're done. What's going on here? Oh, you have, like, no inventory. That's fun. Wait, did I lose my free bag there? I bet I lost my free bag, didn't I? It's there. Open everything quick. Open everything, open everything. I'm probably not going to harvest the Mechanicus today because that's a little bit too much like hard work, but let's see if we can get some. One hand, one hand, one hand. Who's this? Paladin. $610 cloth. I don't need much on these dudes. I just need them to not get one shot every time they touch something. This dude also doesn't seem to be using the global scrap list. Don't know where that came from. No, that's not the button I meant to press. Right, you're done. Should I trade over? I am literally standing right here, aren't I? Let me go trade over the Mechanica. I'm literally right there. Right, sit you down, you're done. Oh, damn, I've done the same thing again. All these characters are so new. I've literally not got bags on them or done anything that's even remotely practical. Oh, 447, that's definitely better. 528, that's... Why does it stop moving? Stop moving, stop moving. I need a little add-on that instantly highlights anything that's an upgrade. So I can just put it on. Leather, leather, ring. Stop moving them! Why is it doing that? Is it saying, okay, we'll just delete you then, go away. I think the add-on's called Pawn. Is it lightweight? I'm trying to be relatively cautious on keeping as lightweight as possible, because load times are actually going to get quite critically important on this dude soon, on these characters soon. Being able to log them in, log them out fast is hyper important. Do you even have your Hearthstone set to the right place? You do. It's kind of amusing dinging level 80 with like item level 8 gear. Your bag's full as well. They are, of course they are. So there's going to be lots of shuffling around today, tinkering with stuff, but hopefully... Well, the reality is this is only a once a week activity. Or, well, I say a once a week activity. It's a once a week activity for as long as these guys are doing nothing but killing rares. When we get deeper into flipping, we will be doing this basically every other day. Just a tip before the Wind of Mysterious Winter ends, don't delete Clacking Claws. They're auction house sellable, they're worth a fair bit already, and will be worth more when the event is over. Yeah, I spotted they could go on the auction house the other day, you know. I accidentally listed and sold some of those the other day. I was slightly confused. I already have a little add-on that puts like a shiny box round. I think it might even be Zygor that does it, but Zygor's far too heavy of an add-on for me to switch on just for that purpose. That just says, "Oi, this is an item level upgrade for you," and highlights it. Just so then I don't accidentally delete stuff that I should actually just put on the dude. But I'm not going to, you know, these guys aren't really going to be doing anything particularly. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Horn will do that. Is that what it? Let's have a little look, because I already have that add-on. If it does what I want it to do, we'll look at using it. Oh, Pawn is all over the shop with its gear ratings. Oh, okay. Oh, I might just not worry about it. Now today's gonna be an exception to the rule, but I'm trying to very strictly spend no more than 5 minutes on each team, purely to make sure that this whole adventure doesn't take too long. I'm quite heavily focused on not optimizing the amount of mechanicas I get particularly, but optimizing the amount of time I'm spending on each team. If I have to spend more than 5 minutes on a single team, I just move on. And this is often the case when it comes to killing the 4th of the 4 rares. I tend to find I can quite quickly get 2, if not 3 of them within a couple of minutes, but then I end up waiting 5 minutes for the last one. Now, I don't mind waiting a bit of time if it's Swigs, but if it's any of the others, I just ditch them. Nitro is also apparently up.
And absolutely no airflow. Perfect day for a race.
That he is. I was doing some testing of this yesterday, day before, can't quite remember. But I can usually get about 1 rare per minute on average. If I am willing to, like, not kill every rare. You can usually bounce between 1 or 2, maybe 3 rares pretty quickly. And then be content with that and just move on. He says, as there's nothing spawned. Horn isn't sim level accurate, but on alts you couldn't care less about. It'll definitely identify upgrades. Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I don't care about sim stuff. It's just purely an item level thing. You know, if the item level goes up if the item level goes up, it's fine. I probably wouldn't. It's just so that when I open mailboxes, I catch stuff. You know, rather than just insta vendoring everything, which is the goal. The reason we set up scrap and things was to make sure that we could just easily nuke everything that we get in the mailbox that we don't want. Better get the raw gold from it than just let it rot in a mailbox, but Zygor will auto-equip upgrades with one of the settings, and rated XP, I think, might also do something similar. Yeah, I'm very aware Zygor does exactly what I want it to do. The issue is Zygor is an absolute heavy beast that I don't want to be loading on all of these teams. Zygor quite literally slows your load time down by 10 seconds, which I just don't want. God damn, game. Screw me over. I want the free bag. Yeah, Zygor, all the things, Trade Skill Master. These are add-ons that I'm reluctant to run unless I absolutely need them. Right now, my 3 most heavy add-ons are Trade Skill Master, the WoW Thing Collector, and then Silver Dragon. But combined, I'm using less than 200 meg, which is where I want it to be, really. Why can't I get any two-handed stuff ever? Why is it only ever one-handed stuff that comes out of these goodie boxes? One hand and shield all over the place. .610 leather, mail, leather, random ass trinket. We equip it for the item level. Oh. Your level is too low to use that item? Oh yeah, these guys aren't actually... These guys aren't level 80 yet. Whoops. This dude also doesn't seem to be using the... I swear I went through and changed this on all of my characters. It doesn't seem to have saved the settings for some reason. What does Silver Dragon do? Yeah, it's an alternative to Rare Scanner. This is Silver Dragon here. Hold on, we still need both Tally and Thwack, don't we? I'm over this way. My must only play for a maximum of 5 minutes is not going so well so far, is it? Who's the other one? I need Tally. If Tally's up, we kill it. No. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be saving that setting on a lot of my characters for some reason. Have we killed everybody we need on this? We've missed Tally, but okay. Let's finish mailboxes then, and then we'll move on unless Tally pops up.
Is that your wallet?
It's actually
You're just
entirely
glad to
possible
see
that
me.
these are new characters,
Both, I
and so
hope.
that's probably why I haven't set the add-on up properly for them. Who was that? Loot Fever with the 5 months. Thank you very much. Welcome in, my man. Hope you're doing well. Who's in my seat? Get out of my seat. You're meant to be over there. The fact I can see my other teammates is not good here. I've just realised. That means they're all on the same flipping shard, doesn't it? How's that happened again? Whoa, that's not what I wanted. There's always drama. This time Star Citizen has gone pay to win stuff has gone a little over the deep end. I'm glad I never invested. I've not paid hardly any focus whatsoever towards Star Citizen. It's one of those games that I kind of partially believe is just never going to like properly launch. I think unfortunately there's quite many similar scenarios like that these days. Games have best intentions and then I mean, the fact that a game like Star Citizen needs any pay to win is bananas in the first place. Too many too big things. Yeah, there's like $50,000 spaceships and stupid stuff, isn't there? Which is, I get having something for your most dedicated audience, but that's just flipping whale fishing at that point, isn't it? That's just blatant whale fishing. It's kind of why when the discussion comes up in WoW regarding like, does the sub make more money or does the token make more money? I always categorically sit on the side of that the token makes more money than everything else combined. Because what's very difficult to comprehend to average Joe is that there are people out there that have borderline unlimited amount of disposable income, right? There are some people in this world that money does not matter to. And those are the people that they don't care if they buy no tokens or 500 tokens. They just couldn't care. Money is just a transactional thing for them to get the thing they want. And there's enough people out there, there's enough oilers out there that have absolutely zero shits a given when it comes to this sort of stuff. So there's absolutely no question in my mind that the token, if we ever got to see the breakdown of the financials, I can almost guarantee the token makes people rich. Or Blizzard rich, I should say. Hence why, there's the concept of like, oh, well, Blizzard should just do more to stop RMT and to get rid of black markets and whatever. The reality is one, you can't get rid of that shit anyway. And Blizzard were like, well, we could spend an awful lot of money trying to get rid of all of this, or we could just implement a system, which means we get a percentage of it. Like, if you can't beat them, join them, and that's kind of like to a reasonable degree why the token exists in the first place. You're never going to be able to counteract bots. You're never going to be able to counteract RMT, because where there is a desire for somebody, there'll be A, somebody willing to sell it, and B, somebody willing to buy it. So Blizzard might as well have their piece of the pie. Look at how much money floats through. Look at how much money floats through boosting. Now, where do you think most of that gold comes from in the first place? You bet your ass it's not by people doing flipping patron orders and world quests to earn the gold to pay for these million gold boosts through raids. No. They're buying tokens with their credit card, and then they're giving all of that money to Echo to boost them through whatever it is they're boosting them through. Tokens are there so that people can legally buy as much gold as they want. Sorry, I will try and keep the sniffing to a minimum today, but breathing is still not an easy task. Italian Nitro still needed. I did start the timer. I've clearly opened the mailboxes on these dudes at some point. Or at least on some of them, because some of them have got like nothing in and some of them have got a whole bunch. Tallies up on this realm. And a bonus swigs, although we, for the first time ever, don't actually need swigs. Breathing so overrated. Yeah, like I said, technically I probably still shouldn't really be streaming today. But I'm not taking any more days off. That's actually ridiculous at this point. I'll just not breathe very much. Token makes them the most because it doesn't cost them anything to make a token. Well, that's it. It's an absolute 100% money printer because it's just a middleman service. They're not doing anything other than connecting player A to player B. And that's I mean, it is literally just a money printer. For every single time a token moves from one player to another, Blizzard makes like €7. Just hydrate, you'll be fine. Oh, I've been hydrating like an ungodly amount over the last few days. I think I've put on about flipping 5 kilos, but just in water weight. I know for a fact that Blizzard hosts a few black market RMT sites. I mean, well, that's quite an outlandish claim. Without... I mean, pick so it didn't happen in that scenario. When anybody uses the phrase, I know for a fact, I would like to see said facts before I'm willing to even contemplate it as being close to reality. I'm not saying you don't, but pick so it didn't happen. Right, you're the only dude with a Mechanica in your bags somewhere. Dish that over. That's the important thing. We can deal with everything else whenever the timer's run out. We'll deal with all of the rubbish in the bags another day. Still want to try and both empty bags but also maintain, keep on track with my maximum 5 minutes a team. But whoa, hang on, something's gone big time wrong here. We haven't even got half of the goodies here. Otherwise, it takes me all day to get through these teams, and that's not really what my plan is for the first day back, if I'm honest. But ugh. Can remember seeing a video of the bots on the Chinese server running in and out of Classic Moradon, literally hundreds of them in and out every minute. Yeah, I mean, from time to time, the bot farms definitely turn up and they do their thing. There's no doubt about that. But what I've always said is that people need to pay attention to where the money is, because that's where the bots go, right? The bots are there just to facilitate the need, and the need is that there are people that want gold, and there isn't sufficient enough a way for people to make the gold they want in-game fast enough. Now, in the downtime, in the off-season in retail, there isn't really that much demand for gold. And we can actually see this by what the token does, right? The token price steadily rises, and this is due to the fact that there's not that many people out there that want to buy gold. Token price goes down, or the amount of gold per token goes down at the beginning of an expansion, for example, because that's when everybody needs lots of gold because they want to get all of the new stuff. But in the off-season, not so much, which is why the token price rises. But most of the bots for quite a while now have pretty unanimously lived in Classic, or the variations of Classic, since that's where people want the gold. That's where a lot of the focus was, whether it be the anniversary realms, whether it be hardcore. that's where people's attention was. And so, in turn, that's also where a lot of the bots were. Now, also, this is outside of the box thinking a little bit here as well, but there's also a strong, I didn't start my timer. A very strong possibility, and I suspected this for a while, and it leads me to believe that this is why Blizzard made a change to it, that the bots were botting on Classic because it's significantly easier to bot on Classic because it's just easier. It's the old game client. It's like everything is figured out like 120%. And what was happening was that bots were just transferring that gold from Classic to retail via swaps, which in turn was laundering the gold very effectively. And hence why Blizzard were like, right, well, this is now getting a little bit out of hand, so that they made the change to prohibit that action. And then, surprise, surprise, a lot of the bots almost instantly moved over to retail because they weren't able to then facilitate the trades, or should I say the supply of people that were willing to do those trades from retail to Classic, which were the people that were adversely laundering all of this bot money. Now that market dried up because everybody was like, well, I'm not going to trade because I don't want to risk my account getting banned. You know, they prohibited it now. So the bots were somewhat forced to move back to retail. Why is it only trash rares? I don't want trash rares. You've not got a Mechanica, so you move back inside. Sit you back down. You've not got a Mechanica, so you go sit back down. You pair do. But we can't seem to find any flipping rares like the guy on the go right now. Oh, though, Swigs is here. I don't know how long that Swigs has been there. I might have missed it. Yeah, that Swigs has come and gone before I even noticed. I think it's not that much profit because you got the goblins buying subs expansions with balance. Yeah, but where do you think that balance comes from? That balance comes from tokens. Follow the money. Follow the money. The only way you get Blizzard balance is by exchanging your gold in-game for a token, and then instead of game time you turn it into, what was it, 13 euros or whatever. A more lightweight Mechanica tracking, if you're running Bagnator and Syndicator anyway, you can just hover over a Mechanica and it'll tell you which of the characters on that account has one, if you want to remove the weak aura. Oh, weak aura by itself, as long as you don't stack too many weak auras, is not too bad. So I don't mind that. Plus, just having the weak auras there is very handy for when there's something that needs to be fixed that can't be fixed by an add-on. But no, you're right. I probably could and should also just do it that way. But this little tracker's fine. It's not doing much. Tally and Swigs are missing. Damn, they're two that I could really do with getting a kill on. Have I just missed that tally kill as well? Oh my god, this is the thing, right? The characters that are on big servers, if you're not standing where the flipping dude is, if you're literally not standing there when the rare spawns, you're gonna miss it. God, am I going to need an 8K screen at some point? Flipping hell. Upgraded to 4K, so I would hope that I could see more pixels. And whilst I can, it's still very tiddly. Mighty tiddly. Upgrade the eyes instead. I do need to go to the opticians, you know. I noticed yesterday. Well, I've been sort of sensing it for a while. But my sunglasses are prescription sunglasses as well. Because I don't use contact lenses. And I've started noticing now that I'm using my sunglasses a bit more that my eyesight has clearly diminished or changed over the last 12 months. Because, yeah, even when I put my sunglasses on now, I'm like, oh shit, I still can't see. How many teams a day am I swapping? I've got 21 teams set up currently. So that totals 84 characters. Plus obviously the main dude, 85. Which is, in my opinion, too many. But it's from the perspective... No. It's from the perspective that also gives me a character on every auction house server in the EU, which is kind of the double bubble usage for all these toons. You're using dedicated computer... No. These are just my general day-to-days. To be honest, when I'm at the computer, I don't need my glasses on full stop. I just do because they live on my face. My vision is like... far away is blurry. I can never remember which way round it is, but like distance is blurry, up close is perfectly fine. So actually I could 100% not use my glasses in the house and whatever, but I'm not one of these people that takes them off and puts them on all day. Like, I put my glasses on and they just live on my face. It's fine. They can stay there. Short-sighted, yeah, that's probably the one. And I mean, my vision is entirely based upon the fact that I sit in front of a computer screen flipping 12 hours a day. But I always have. And I'm like, well, it's going to be the way it is then, isn't it? Last time I went to the opticians, they basically said that my eyes are not really that bad. It's just that my focusing is really lazy. It takes like... the time it takes for my eyes to focus is about 3 times what it takes for a normal person. And sometimes they just don't actually focus properly. This is because there are some days where... this often happens at the weekend, where if I don't put my glasses on in the morning, I don't notice I don't have them on. So if I don't have them on, my eyes try a bit harder, if that makes sense. It's weird. But as soon as I put my glasses on, which, you know, does a lot of the focusing for your eyes, that's the reason they exist, right? My eyes go back to being lazy again. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. Right, we're only getting shit rares again. That garbage kill is actually potentially close enough if we can get there. I'm clearly not the only one that thinks the same. What I do need to start doing is getting a slightly better routine for this where it also simultaneously includes a quick sniper scan and a quick repost of anything from the mailboxes. I haven't quite figured out how I want to approach that, because there's nothing to say that I couldn't just Bruto up, have a quick sniper scan on the go while all of this is happening. You know, keep the wombo combo to a maximum. But I'm still trying to semi-do one thing at a time, right? Getting all of these characters set up initially. Getting them on reasonably distributed realms so that I have at least 4, preferably 5 unique shards for each team. I actually started tracking that on my spreadsheet the other day as well. Tally and Nitro. But also incorporating a quick sniper scan for each realm. And a quick repost. Might mean that the time spent per realm needs to go up to like maybe 6, maybe 7 minutes per. But I definitely don't want to double the amount of time I spend on each realm. Like I said, a lot of what I'm doing now, and I think this is something that people who try and scale up often don't take into consideration too much, is that you have to, and it's a bit of a bee in my bonnet right now, I'm a little bit hyper obsessed with it, which is not necessarily the best solution, but you have to start paying attention to how much time you spend on each set of your characters, or whatever the thing is that you're doing, how long does it take you to do it? Because you kind of have to remember you're multiplying everything by up to, you know, in my case, up to 80 times. So even something that takes 1 minute to do per character, all of a sudden that's an hour and a half just to do it across all the characters. And that's something that just takes 1 minute, you know? So streamlining is a big part of scaling, and it's something that I'm a little out of practice with doing. Because, for example, there's part of me that kind of wants these dudes just standing here, right? I want them just standing here, and that means they can mailbox, they can auction house, they can do all of their bits and pieces. But the byproduct of them standing here is when I press log out, there's a 20-second log out. So I have to... And a 20-second log out doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. It adds up a lot. So I'm going to have to run them back in the hotel to get that instant log out on them, which is still not the most time efficient thing, because you really don't want to particularly move them, but they've got to be in or around the hotel somewhere. How long does it take to do the 21 teams? Well, it takes as long as I'm willing to spend on them, right? This is the thing, right? So if I was to make sure on every team that I killed all 4 of the hotel rares, then I can't give you a very particularly accurate time in how long it takes, because it's open to RNG at that point. But by literally spending... I set a 5-minute timer on my main character, and I go off and I do what I can do in that 5 minutes. And I also have a secondary rule in place that if I kill 3 of the 4, I just move on. Like, I don't hang around and wait for the 4th. Unless it's Swigs. Swigs is the exception to the rule. I'll wait for Swigs, because Swigs is worth twice as much. Swigs has double the drop rate. But in this scenario now, where I've landed on a realm where I might be able to kill 3 of them pretty quickly, within, like, say, 2 minutes, I can actually save myself 3 minutes by just moving on to the next team, instead of waiting for that 4th rare on that one team, if you know what I mean. Hyper-focused on just spending as little time as possible on each team. Because otherwise, it can definitely run away. It can run away with itself. If I do 21 teams and I try and kill every single rare on every single team, it can vary from being, on a good day, 2 hours, to a bad day, 4 hours. And I don't want that level of variancy in it, right? I want... The entire thing is designed to be something that I can quickly bang out an hour a day, an hour and a half a day. And if I can build in some... quick sniper scan, quick relist of items, quick flip. At the same time, it's a wombo combo that if I slightly break my time rules, I don't mind. But so this is going to be a good example right here. Killing Nitro now is going to be the 3rd of the 4. I'm only going to need Thwack, but I've only been doing this for 2 minutes on this team. Now, technically, if Thwack isn't readily available on any of these realms right now, which, well, he is, so we'll hop to this realm. If Thwack wasn't available, the smart thing for me to do now would be just to log off, just to move on. Save the 3 minutes and put that towards the next team. But because Thwack's turned up, we've actually done pretty well. But also, whilst we're killing him, we can go empty mailboxes. Because I can basically auto-kill Thwack. And yeah, it's just about almost obsessive level of control of your time, so it doesn't run away from you. It's slightly different when I'm streaming, because I'm obviously talking to you guys and trying to get, you know, keep a bit of a conversation going and whatever. And I've always said from day one, anytime I'm doing anything on stream, I'm doing it 50% effective. I can do everything twice as fast when I'm not streaming, because I can just focus on it, you know. Right, log you off. You didn't have a Mechanica, so log you off. You didn't have a Mechanica, so log you off. And you didn't have a Mechanica, so log you off. And we did all of that with like a minute or something to spare. So in my books, that's, you know, time in the bank. Yeah, the rares have between sort of 10 to 18 minutes is the spawn time on most of these I've spotted. Now you can't, you know, they do sometimes spawn a bit faster. The spawn is definitely dynamic. That's what I can definitely tell. It's definitely not a fixed time. It's definitely that, you know, if it's a busy shard, they'll spawn faster sort of thing. Swigs and potentially Nitro if we're fast enough. Do the old WOD tailoring tents give you rested or instant logout? Very good question. Absolutely no idea, but it could be something worth investigating. My theory with this is once the meta moves out of the Undermine and it's not the zone that everybody lives in, the killing of the rares should, in theory, be very fast. Because there's a stronger chance that they're just up on different shards. Whereas at the moment, it's the current zone, and so when they spawn, they get killed, like, really quite quickly. You can still just get unlucky. Haha, I loaded the timer but didn't start it. Oh well. If we're lucky, we've got all of the rares anyway. We got Tally to kill after this. Because like I said, the concept of all of this is not to squeeze out the most miscellaneous mechanica in the shortest physical amount of time. It's to set something up that's quick and easy to do for a long duration of time, right? If we get these characters more into flip mode, which is the direction I want to take them, we will at some point be able to sort of transition and flip a little bit more into maybe spending more time doing a little bit more of a sniper scan on each one, and then, you know, oh well, we'll kill some rares if the rares are up at the same time sort of thing. The focus is very much on the Mechanica right now, but that probably won't be the long-term focus. Because Mechanica's hype right now, but the hype on it will die down. The hype on it will die down, the value of it will die down, potentially. I mean, the value of it could go in the other direction, but at least the immediate interest on it will go down when it's not the zone. Did we get all four? We did. We got all four very quickly there. We got all four, and we emptied mailboxes. Two of these guys have got a Mechanica. Oh, I can't see it on small screen. One of you, one of you. Right, now we can log them all off. If I'm opening mailboxes today, I also don't want to be dealing with inventory today as well. I quite quickly decided I'll look for a better solution on making sure I at least equip any item level upgrades. But that's another thing. I don't want to be doing too much on each of these toons every day. Spread it out a little bit. It's another reason why Volpira is good on the farm. The camp gives you a teleport. It's also insta log out too if needed. And that's clever. Yeah, a bunch of mine are Volpira. My paladins are not, though. My paladins are Zandalari. Swigs Nitro Thwack. That sounds like a good start. That sounds like a very good start. This is potentially a god shard. Or a golden shard, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, you're doing bombs. Stop doing bombs. I could definitely do with 4 sets of eyes, though. I mean, 5 would probably be... Oh, hang on, bombs again. Can't totally AFK kill these rares. Another thing that's on the cards to switch this up a little bit as well is to rotate in level 80s on my main account. At the moment, I'm just purely using my main hunter, but there's not really any significant advantage to doing that. I could especially since I already have like 13, 14 level 80s on my main account. I should absolutely be rotating the level 80 on this account as well, because that's an extra 25% Mechanica per day. It's just, it takes a little bit more time to set up an 80 that's capable of killing all of this stuff. Oh, I didn't start my timer again. What a donut. Doesn't matter, we're going to get 4 for 4 on the sharp, on the rares anyway. I use level 70 killers on some of the teams. I mean, that's bold. I want to, classic time walking has been quite good for leveling 70 to 80. So I'm keen to... Another reason why I'm keen to blast this out as fast as possible is so I can actually get to focusing more on leveling some of these teams to 80 as well. There's not really a huge benefit from that, but it's something that I still... Given the opportunity to get the characters to 80, it seems to make a lot of sense to me to do it. Because I know there's lots of people out there that are kind of half waiting on Legion Remix to level a bunch of characters to 80. But there's no guarantee that they will let that fly this time. I think it was incredibly lucky that we were able to blast Mr. Pandaria Remix for level 70s last time. Something that I'm not going to take for granted this time round. So given the opportunity for some fast leveling via classic time walking right now, I'm trying to make use of it, but I've not made as much use of it as I should have. One thing I also thought about with these changes to time walking that Blizzard have decided to make, we have to kind of remember that the only reason time walking is heavily used these days for leveling alts is because the end of dungeon experience is literally all you care about. Like, the experience gained by killing the mobs on the way to the on completion of the dungeon basically doesn't matter. It'd be interesting to see if Blizzard makes any changes to the end of dungeon experience, because if they nerf that, you absolutely are just not going to do it. It'll kill engagement in time walking completely, because they'll remove everybody that's blasting ults through if they get rid of the end of dungeon experience. This is why nobody particularly levels via normal dungeons anymore, because the experience in doing it is just not competitive. Thwack's dead. Didn't start me timer again. What a donut. Thwack is up over here. No, he's not. He was. Valley. In Classic, it's better to follow in half of the dungeons if you know where to place the ults and in which dungeons. Mobs give you 1k XP in Classic, so it's better just to follow in 3 of them. You can easily get 100k more XP. Once again, that feels a lot like, are you min-maxing XP or are you min-maxing time? Because the speed and the skips in which my Demon Hunter takes in most of the dungeons can absolutely not facilitate anybody following. It's just not happening. If your Demon Hunter is who's doing the boosting, you are not having anybody following that thing because it is moving. A couple of the classic time walking dungeons, well, technically all of the classic time walking dungeons now, if you're willing to do some like serious shenanigans, can be done in like less than 2 minutes. But you got to be doing pretty crazy Demon Hunter things. I try to keep to a non-exploitative route, but I can still do quite a few of the dungeons in like less than 2 minutes. Because there's absolutely no way I'm risking my account by doing wall hacky kind of stuff. It's not wall hacking, but it's kind of like, oh, gliding through an invisible wall that only a Demon Hunter can do whilst flying halfway across the map. It's not really something I want to do very often. Nitro down, just thwack to go. Technically at this point I'd probably peace out, but I've got mailboxes to open. Oh, and thwack might actually be up here. He is. Right, we'll get you killing. Get your mailboxes opened. Back to killing you. People forget that Blizzard nerfed time walking in BFA and they killed it for almost the whole expansion. Time walking is a difficult one, isn't it? Because over the years it's had a very different approach to it. I think the way time walking is structured now, I don't mind. I sit more in the camp of people that are absolutely happy to blast the shit out of them. And if a level 11 twink turns up in my time walking dungeon, I am like, fantastic, because I know that dude is going to complete the dungeon in 30 seconds flat. And you know, it's good, all good. I view time walking as something that is just an alt leveling fiesta, which is what it's been for the majority of time walking's existence. Blizzard has previously, and I think even when time walking first was implemented, it was a little bit more difficult. I think they tried to balance it so that it was kind of on par with a normal dungeon, but just, you know, giving people the flexibility to run old dungeons, right? Reusing old content. Great. Nothing wrong with that. But as time has gone on, more and more people have figured out that, then it ended up being that people got bored of doing it. They actually made time walking dungeons too difficult, so much so that they were almost more difficult than normal dungeons, and so people just didn't do them anymore. And to rectify that issue, they whacked on a huge, great big end of dungeon bonus, which then drew everybody back to them, because then you could absolutely zug them and win. So Blizzard has this kind of problem on their hands, that if they make them too difficult, nobody bothers to do them. And if they're too zug, then players complain that other people are going zug. So Blizzard kind of needs to be content with annoying somebody in this, because it seems like a scenario where you're never going to please everybody. The question is what category of people would they rather piss off? Hang on, back in a minute. Hi. We're going to need to take more frequent breaks today, because I'm clearly quite congested. I just went and ruined a tissue. Oh. Like I said, I probably still shouldn't be streaming today, but I like streaming. Talking to you guys is fun. I always left the ults at the entrance, ran to the final boss of the dungeon, get the finish experience, and onwards. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what time walking is become, hasn't it? It's become that kind of like absolute zug fiesta. And the problem is that any random Joe that queues into that and is not necessarily expecting it, it can be jarring. So this is why I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm quite definitely in the camp of players that would rather it just be an absolute Zerg fiesta, use it for leveling ults, and let people do what they want to do. Like if people want... But Blizzard needs to come out and say, this is what time walking is. This is the identity that this piece of content has. If you want to level and you want to learn and you want to experience and you want to practice your class, you have regular dungeons and you also have... You have regular dungeons and you also have follower dungeons. Blizzard needs to sort of draw the line in the sand and say, right, time walking is to do an alternative dungeon once in a while. It turns up for a week and you can blast those dungeons. And it's predominantly for you to go to reuse some old content, for you to level some ults fast, right? If Blizzard turns around and says, this is what time walking is about, if you want to do that sort of stuff, go do it in time walking. Then people will go do it in time walking. If you want to level, use your follower dungeons. I kind of think that the structure is already there, but because Blizzard is not very good at saying this is the game mode for you. This is the... If you want this, go do this game mode. If you want that, go do that game mode. If Blizzard just defined what these areas of content were and who they were for and what the philosophy of them is, then players will naturally move to the one that suits them. But because time walking is kind of, you know, it's had multiple purposes over the years, it's got muddy, and it's now attracting two very distinctly different types of player, which is problematic. Clearly. Did I get the tag on that? I think I got the tag on that. Just Nitro to go. Well, this was in less than 2 minutes. We got 3 rares killed again. And Nitro's here? Right, you start killing you. There's the tag at very least. Let's get mailboxes opened. No. Flip it down. There we go. 2 mechanical on that dude. I'll take it. These bonus mobs round Nitro are annoying. Luckily, with enough DPS, they go down fast enough, but I still always accidentally pull half the world when I kill Nitro. Right, that's blasted the entire 4 out nice and fast as well. Let's get these Mechanica where they need to be. You're empty. You're empty. You've got 2. No, that's not the right one. With a minute to spare, 4 rares, and the Mechanica, and the loot box. If they kill time walking completely, people will level in normal ones between. Well, yeah, I mean, this was kind of my point, right? That people will naturally navigate to the content that is most suited to them. But that's partly on Blizzard to let people know and carefully define what content is meant for what. And time walking doesn't really have this identity because it's had different identities over the years. And because Blizzard keep flip-flopping from one to another, it's basically some people think time walking is an alternative for leveling in normal dungeons. And to a degree it is, but if you queue up randomly, you're going to find the other category of people that also just considers time walking the ultimate alt leveling zug fiesta. So we'll see how these next swath of changes, if they make any difference. I'm not convinced they'll make any difference. From what I've been led to believe, they're not making the time walking dungeons any more difficult. They're just going to take longer. But considering Twinks basically one-shot everything in there anyway, going from one-shotting to two-shotting is like, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, honestly.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit.
That's how it feels
together.
to me, at least. But I haven't tested them, so we'll see. Oh, Nuked gifted a sub to 2 lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. What weak aura are you using for tracking the rares in the Undermine? It's not a weak aura. This one on the top left is called Rare Tracker. The rares that pop up is an add-on called Silver Dragon. Thwack is up over here. Oh, I don't think I got the tag on him then, did I? Flipping hell. Tally, Thwack, and Nitro. Half of these dudes are standing on the same flipping shard again, which is problematic. Two of these dudes have got Mechanicas. You're empty, so we can move you back inside whilst we're scouting for rares. Same with you. Testing 11, level 11s will be dead and 70s will just be nerfed. They're addressing the scaling on all of the levels over just increasing the health pool. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Another reason to take full advantage of it while it's here. Because if they do go changing anything. I mean, ultimately, there are just as viable outer world options currently for leveling alts as there are. It's, you know, time walking is used because it's instanced and it's easy, right? At the moment. You know, the water will follow the path of least resistance, and those that want to level alts the fastest will just find out what is the path of least resistance and do it. It's not like that people, you know, these players don't have options right now. It's just time walking dungeons are quite convenient. Some dungeons, the BFA specifically has mind control that you can't kill them because they reset. You may be able to kill them, but you need to follow with ults to decrease the odds that you get MC'd on your main twink. Well, let's not forget that not all time walking dungeons are great for leveling ults. It might just be that the BFA time walking event is one where ults are just like, yeah, no bother. Classic is okay. TBC is considered the best from what I can see so far. So when it's TBC week, you'll see a lot of Zug Zug. Right, I don't think we're going to get thwack on this team. We managed to grab a Nitro, but we'll move on. We'll trade over the Mechanicas and move on, I think. Alright, I think that's all of them. Next team. I've lost track of which. I think it's that one. What software are you using to toggle between instances of WoW? No, I'm just full screening. Just double click on the bar. Standard Windows. They're just carefully positioned. Swigs. We'll start with Swigs. Yeah, Windows snapping's pretty good these days once you figure out the button presses. There's a Windows tool called Fancy Zones that allows you to make this exact layout that I'm using. Because Windows by default, you'll see, has kind of like pretty generic ones, and the most you can get is like a 4x4 with Windows by default. But there's a little Windows tool called Fancy Zones that allows you to make custom zones, basically. Whoa, no. But yeah, for the most part, it's just Windows snapping. Is Tally actually up on this realm? Or is that a myth? Tally is up on this realm. I didn't start my timer again. I'm getting really bad at starting this timer, everyone. June 4th is TBC time walking. Well, we'll get ready that week to blast some dungeons then. In the summer sun. Let's hope. Do we need Nitro and Thwack? Nitro and Thwack anywhere? Both Nitro and Thwack. Well, if we can get 2 for 2, that would be very nice. Very nice, very nice. Let's, whilst you're being tagged, let's grab you. Grab you. Sorry, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I'm not great at following chat while I'm doing this, so I do slightly apologise if I miss any of your guys' chatter directly. I'm mostly reading chat while I'm looking at load screens. But I will definitely get to everything. Right, that's all 4 rares tagged nice and quickly. These 2 dudes don't seem to have had anything interesting. So we can park you back inside. Right, now I know I've slightly forgot to set my start my timer at the beginning of this, but we've still absolutely murdered all 4 of those rares nice and fast, which is a bonus. Oh, that one dude's got 2 Mechanica on him. Go on. You got nothing. Open your bags. Beautiful. Why doesn't that open the bags for him? I've had a couple of occasions where these bags bug out and don't open. and then screw up the inventory. Right, next team. Does the rare loot get mailed to the alts? Yes, as long as the kill happens close enough to them, which is why we only kill the 4 rares as like in close proximity to the hotel. As long as the kill happens close enough to them that they can basically, the rule is if they can see it happening on the mini map, they're close enough. Then they don't even need to loot it. The important loot will go to the mailbox, which is the Mechanica. So tally over here. That's a good start. The amount of crafting orders coming in is insane. Made 500k this month off them. That's pretty wild, you know. Well, people are now, what is it, every 30 gilded, they can upgrade a piece of their crafted gear. And let's say there were potentially people out there with like maybe even 4. Is it 4 pieces of crafted gear potentially you could have right now? 5? Can't remember. There's possibly people out there that have quite a few bits of gear to upgrade. So it's, in my opinion, it feels like it's probably the last big hurrah for like doing a lot of work orders. Since historically the 0.2 season, unless something significantly out of the ordinary happens, the 0.2 patches, because they're either considered like second half of the expansion, they're never as hype as obviously expansion launch and then the first major content patch after season launch. They're the slowest. It's the slowest of the patches historically. Not finding any rares though. That's because all 5 of these dudes are on the same flipping shard. How's that magic? They're not grouped up. Oh, jeez Louise. All 5 of them are on the same shard and not a single one of them has a Mechanica in their bags. What a useless bunch of... Is that just because something's gone horribly wrong and they've not gone back to their home realms? Bloodfeather, Burning Blade, Blade Fist, Blackrock and Draenor are currently all on the same flipping shard. Oh, I'm not even going to piss about on this. Let's just move on. That's tragic. I'm not even going to bother. Oh, flipping log out timers. Let's just move on. I'm not waiting around on that team. Don't know how that team's managed to end up being so poorly optimized. Seems like you need to be level 70 plus for this. Yes. Yeah. Only level 70 plus qualifies for loot. You can summon low-level characters to the Undermine. They just can't take the teleport. Yeah, it still needs to be 70 plus, though, for them to qualify for loot on the rares. So there's no point bringing in like level 10s or anything. Plus, you're right, they do need to be summoned in, using the summon stone just outside. Thwack. Right, one down. Anybody up anywhere? Junk wall? No. Let's start getting their mailboxes sorted then. Junk wall, flyboy. Oh, Mechanica on this tune. Mechanica on the... 2 Mechanicas on that dude. We take those. Wow, nothing to kill though. Absolutely nothing to kill. Yeah, I don't have a huge desire to level all of these dudes up to 80. Or should I say I don't really have a purpose for them being level 80 right now. Now, of course, they do get a little bit of experience slowly but surely over time. Just by killing the rares, but... I'm still somewhat trying to get them to 80 when the opportunity arises. So when the this week, classic time walking is a good opportunity. Plus it's double bubble with the leveling event thing. When TBC time walking turns up, we might do a little bit more. Otherwise, they'll be just kind of left to their merits of just casually leveling up as time goes on. We've not had, or at least not so far at least, had really anything similar to like Dracothists, where if you remember, you needed to be max level to do that. We've been able to, at least fortunately, get away with both Mechanica farming and like any sort of crafting, concentration or whatever has been... You've not needed to be max level for that yet. It's funny because it's one of the most commonly asked questions at the beginning of an expansion. Like, do I need to level all of my alts to max level? My answer is always yes. But my answer is always yes based upon the fact that it's better to have them leveled up and not need them than for something to turn up that needs lots of max level characters and then for you to not have any. And then you have to panic start leveling up a bunch of alts. Usually during an inefficient time. Or the alternative is just don't play the game as much. Don't be such a degen. We are not getting any flipping rares spawning now. What's going on? I've stumbled across a couple of tragic shards by the looks of things. I mean, if that's the case, if we can't seem to find anybody to kill, let's at least transfer these Mechanica over. Last check if there's anybody. Oh, Swigs is up on this one. We'll take a last hurrah with a Swigs kill. Absolutely. Look about people zerging to Swigs. How many of you are also doing this? Flipping hell. Jinxed yourself with a 5 minutes per group statement. Oh yeah, I know. But this is why I'm quite strictly trying to stick to this. That like if 5 minutes passes, just move on. Just move on at that point, because you're best off doing such. Although Nitro has literally spawned. I will break the rules if something is literally there to be killed. I'm not going to ignore a rare, but if one's not available to kill, we'd move on. In combat with what? Lies. Okay, was that all of them anyway? Oh no, we still technically needed a tally kill, didn't we? Is a tally up to be pew-pewed? No. Log out. Oh, hang on. Haul ass inside and then log out. Okay, making some pretty speedy progress. With 21 teams 5 minutes ago, it's a little over an hour and a half to do the whole thing. Which if I can squeeze in mailboxes at the same time, I need to then figure out on what day of the week we do like auction housey sort of stuff as well. Or alternatively, we leave that to like the second rotation through the characters, I'm not sure. Potentially Swigs and Nitro up on this realm. Or Nitro in the bottom right corner if it's not here. This one potentially had a Nitro. Did it? Did it? Should we see if it did? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Oh, Nitro on this one. There he is. Didn't start my timer again. You can tell this 5 minute timer is something new that I'm doing because it's clearly not built into my muscle memory yet. Right, thwack and tally. Thwack. Lies, game. Lies. Oh, wait, hang on. Half of these dudes are in a flipping group for some reason. Ah, it's broken. Fat fingered the buttons too much. Just bugged it all out. We'll come back to Thwack in a minute. What are you doing all the way over there? Tally, come back. Do a slam on me. Come closer. Do a slam on me. No, not gonna bother. Thwack is the last one we need, which is apparently on this realm, if it will invite everybody properly. There we go. Oh no, no, get the tag! Genius play. Right, we didn't even do mailboxes, we got all 4 kills. Two Mechanicas, 3 Mechanicas, we take those. Nice. Add them to the pile. I can, one thing I can say though is we're not going to get anywhere near as many Mechanicas this week, I don't think, because of my proactive choice to quite often skip rares. Since, trying to focus more on the time side of things. But if you randomly get 2, we take those wins. You've not got any. Beautiful. My question is going to be, what do I spend these Mechanicas on? Because I've actually got one of every pet already in stock. I'm missing 2 of the mounts. So I could already get one of the mounts I'm missing if I wanted to add to the collection. Oh, this looks like a good server. Or the alternative is that I get some more pets and start spreading them out on other servers. I mean, I could and should, and in theory probably should do the exact same with the mounts as well. But I kind of went into this with the thought process of I will have one of everything available for sale on Draenor, which is my home realm, which is conveniently also a very big server. It means there's more competition, but it also means there's a lot more people potentially buying from Draenor. Just to guarantee some periodic sales. But when we try and min-max the value of each Mechanica, spreading them around onto realms where I have no competition, means I can easily up the price. Where do you spend the Mechanica? Well, there's 2 vendors in the Undermine where you can swap them for either pets or mounts. Oh, we're just missing Thwack. Is he available on any realm? Not this second. Let's do some mailboxes quickly then. Oh, Thwack's up over here. Everybody in. Nuke him down. Does that mess up mailbox looting when you server hop? It does. In a little bit more detail, there's a one of these buildings around here. I think it's this one's right in the middle, to the top left of the Intercontinental Hotel, is where you can buy the pets, and you have a building down here. I think it's this one down in the heaps, or it might be this one down in the heaps, where there's an NPC where you can buy the mounts. I can't remember their NPC names off the top of my head, but right, you're empty. Bags are semi-full, but not so full that I'm that bothered. Log you out. You didn't have any Mechanica. Same scenario, I'm not going to bother with your bags today. And you have a Mechanica. Somewhere there. $27. Handy Notes shows you on the map where you can hand them in. Oh, has Handy Notes got them tagged? Does it? Okay. Right, next team. 5-minute timer. Go. Tally, Nitro, Thwack. Well, we'll start at one end and move over. No, I didn't mean to aggro everything again. I told you, every time I try and kill Nitro, aggro the whole world. Has this dude got... Oh, this has got Tally up as well. Could be a 2 for air. Go on. Wombo combo, have swigs. Never lucky. Oh, I think Swigs has literally just spawned. Tag on Swigs as well. Well, that was an efficient team. All 4 rares in like 2 minutes. Now I just need like 25 Mechanica from these dudes and all. Oh, shit. Stupid bombs. Wasn't paying attention. Whoops. Too busy looting mailboxes. This is what I mean. I need like 5 sets of eyes. Right, only 1 Mechanica from that team. I'd have slightly hoped for more Mechanica per team, if I'm honest, this week, but I kind of knew that it was not going to be game-breaking amounts, since I'm very carefully trying to make sure I don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing this every day. That it is that it stays as a hobby. Stays as a very lucrative hobby for an hour a day. And if we can keep it a very lucrative hobby, then it's all good. As soon as it starts taking too much time and becomes a job, we sack it off. Right. But that entire team was done in 4 minutes, mailboxes and all, which was nice. I need to pee. Back in a minute.
Is that your wallet? Or are you just glad to see me?
Both, I hope.
Yo, Mr. K-Chat, welcome in. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for the 7 months. Appreciate that. I'm not back to full health yet, as you can probably hear in my voice, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, Nitro. Get murdered. Start a timer. Go. Farm looks like it's getting efficient. We are very much focused on efficiency at the moment. It is at the expense of not generating as many Mechanicas, but as we have both drawn to a similar conclusion, this needs to be something that is a pastime, not a job. Setting it up so that it stays as a pastime. I've designated myself a maximum of 5 minutes per team. any more than 5 minutes per team, we just move on. Just move on. And equally, if we can save a minute or two from killing 3 of the rares in quick succession, I don't bother lurking and waiting for the 4th. So like now, for example, Thwack is the one that is still going to be needed to be done on this team. If Thwack's not instantly available, we'll just move on. Three rare kills in like 2 minutes and moving on is better than wasting the extra 3 minutes trying to wait for a Thwack kill, if you know what I mean. Swigs is the exception to that rule, but haha. Interestingly, Thwack is up on a realm. Well, he's up on my own realm. Nuke him down. Right, mailboxes. All 4 kills in less than 3 minutes by the looks of things. If we can get 4 kills and mailboxes and Mechanicas transferred in less than 5, that is the dream. Pretty much the rules I run by, super efficient. Yeah, I mean, from a purely numbers perspective, it would be easier to sort of say, this makes X amount of gold per hour. Like, if you could just do the maths and know that you are killing 4 rares every day on every team. But I quite quickly came to the conclusion that if I try and do that, it could take me 2 hours to do the whole farm, or it could take me 4 hours, depending on how lucky or unlucky I get with the rares. And I don't want that level of variancy. I want it to be reliable. Dip in, dip out, take me an hour, hour and a half max, move on. Now, I know we're like 2.5 hours into the stream today and I'm still doing this, but we didn't start this until about an hour in, so I chatted and we, you know. Right, last couple of teams now. Drawing to the end. Then I need to decide, do we buy another one of the mounts, or do we buy a few more of the pets? I still want to have one of everything available for sale on Draenor. Just, I don't know whether that's sensible or whether that's OCD talking. Nitro, Thwack. Swigs is not up. Let's do these 2 then. Yeah, I kind of want one of everything up on my home realm. And then with any extra Mechanica, we can spread them around the world. And if I can't keep one of everything listed on Draenor, that's an indication to me that I'm selling them too cheaply. Because if you're selling them faster than you can farm the things, you need to put your prices up. Rule 1 of selling shit. Now, what's the chances that Tally is still alive?
Dim lightin' and absolutely no airflow. Perfect day for a race.
No Tally. Okay. 'Twas a pipe dream. To be honest, the only reason I've been willing to sell a few of the pets and mounts so far is based upon the fact that I spent quite a lot of gold getting all of this set up. So I'm happy to gamble on the fact that I do think in the future these pets and mounts will be more expensive than they are right now. But I equally at the same time would kind of like to, at the bare minimum, recuperate the cost of setting all of this up, and then we can gamble on future, stuff. Sal. Are these three dudes on the same flipping realm again? 4 dudes on the same realm. Christ. That's not meant to happen. Oh well, you can't win them all. That might mean then, Nitro Thwack, we kill one more and then we move on. It's not worth hanging about. That's if we even get that one more. Because I didn't even set a flipping timer for this team either, did I? Ah, jeez Louise. 4 dudes on one realm. Sack it off, I think. It's not worth lurking. We might get one of the rares if we're lucky, but it might take us a full 5 minutes to wait for them. So I think we just sack it off, move on. Ha! Literally swig spawned the second I said that. Get back on. Damn you, game. Knows I'm listening. I think you're selling too cheap without a doubt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm quite aware of the fact that me selling anything right now is selling them quite cheap, based upon the effort and the infrastructure needed to acquire them. But once I've recuperated my cost on getting all of this set up, then we'll go into like greedy mode. There we go. We at least got 3 of the 4. We missed a tally, but nobody's going to complain about missing a tally. 2 teams left. Now these teams I'm going to spend a little bit more time on because these are dudes that have just dinged level 80. So I want to open their mailboxes and see if they've actually got any gear that they should put on. Last one. Go. Junk wall, thwack. We'll start with thwack. No, he's already dead. Somebody got there before me. Anybody up anywhere? Anybody? No. Right, mailboxes then. Who spawned where? Nitro. One down. Anybody else? Anybody else? See, this is the time, for example, that we should just be mounting up and we should just be going, you know what? Run a sniper. Boom. Run a sniper. Boom. Now, obviously, this isn't going to result in much because I've not set sniper up, but conceptually, this is what I should be doing while I'm waiting for rares to pop up. Because a sniper scan takes a minute or two before it starts kicking in properly. And if we're going to be logged on to each character for like a few minutes each per day anyway, we might as well see if there's any bargains. That does mean I might actually need to put some gold on these dudes. Because there'd be nothing worse than spotting a bargain that I can't afford. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? Negative luck on the rares on this team as well. Hang on, who was that? Who was that? Ah, the TSM window covers me flipping rare scanner thing. Who was that? Well, whatever it was this round. Who was it? Swigs? Stupid TSM window getting in the way. That might be something I need to consider, that the stupid TSM window covers where my rare scanner pops up. And that's going to happen if I full screen any of these. So I've got to be... yeah, I need to figure that one out. Wow, no rares are popping up though on this last team. Might run the full clock on this one. We've got Swigs and Nitro. Miss Tally and Thwack. That's gross. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. Any bargains? That's not a bad one. No. No, it doesn't look like much, does it? Sword of Decay, why is it showing that? 2,000 regional sale average, 15k, that's not a bargain, mate. This is why you got to set up... any, like, 1 silver bargains. It's just vendor trash, innit? And it's also worth looking in the 75 gold range, because that's often where recipes pop up. No, okay. That dude needs to transfer Mechanica over. It's a dinosaur party. Any goodies? Regional market average sale price of 220,000 gold. What? Somebody's made a real boo-boo there. See a Sapphire Cup there? What's the going price on these things nowadays? 3,000 gold. They've come down. Like I said, I've not... Ha! Corthite crystals. Oh, these vendor for gold now, don't they? Oh, Lord, of course they do. Tiny snowman. Winter reindeer. These are basically free pets, but they're not good ones. Patterns, I like cheap patterns. Not that one though. Like I said, me running a sniper on this one was more conceptual to see whether it all sort of works. I'd need to set up the sniper because it's pulling in so much flipping rubbish right now. We don't need half. We need to filter half of this trash out. All this rubbish needs going away. Progenitor Essentia, my friend, my old friend. How we do not miss you. Nah, not much going on there. Oh yeah, I actually wanted to check these dudes, didn't I, for the for their gear, didn't I? Bog pot, oh, 7,500, that's not really a deal. Not bad price, doesn't sell though. Epic sell just because they're purple. Is that a unique appearance? Is that why they're... I don't know. That feels like a bait to me. The regional sale average of 50k on those boots doesn't make sense to me. That feels like I'm being played. It feels a lot like I'm being played. I'm going to ignore that. ATT will show you if it's unique appearance or not. Yeah, I'm not running ATT on these accounts. ATT is far too heavy to run on these. Far too weighty of an add-on. You're right, it does, but I'm not going to have it loaded on these accounts. I'm going to have to trust my intuition. A regional sale average of a battle-hardened Gorget of 164,000 gold. There's a strong suspicion that somebody's made a massive boo-boo with that as well, isn't there? Especially for a necklace. Oh, somebody's fat-fingered a sale on that one is going to live to regret it. 164k, one of those is sold for. Wow. Stupid cheap stuff that's been listed accidentally is always fun to try and spot, but my sniper is not set up for doing this properly yet, and probably won't be for a while until I figure out how I want to get it set up. Let me go to the 75 gold range. That's where we get 75 gold-ish range is where you get the recipes that are posted at default prices, even though they shouldn't be. Dragon Eye, like that one, for example, 55 gold is the default listing price. It's also the vendor price. Also doesn't particularly sell anymore. Yeah, once we get a little bit more into the flipping for these toons, I think this process of running a quick sniper scan when we log in might be a smart play. For now, though, it's too much like hard work. Let's put some gear on these dudes, though, so they don't get one shot. These guys are now also level 80. So they can equip some of this stuff. Okay, scrap the rest. Each of these toons gets a little bit of seed money just from doing this farm, though. They make like 1,000 gold a week just from like random trash. Which, when you think about the fact that I'm doing this across nearly 100 characters, is 100k a week just like in trash. Like a third of a token every week just from the stuff I vendor, which is actually pretty ridiculous. Which means across 4 weeks, one of the accounts is paid for just in vendor trash. Which is actually mental. Now, that said, that probably won't be the case once this leveling event goes, because probably a lot of that is come from all of the bonus gear that comes out of those goodie bags, actually. No, it's plate dude. One-handed sword. Give me a two-handed something or other. I'm a rep paladin. Give me two-handed stuff. Two-handed staff. That's not what I meant. Stupid game. Actually, yeah, I am. I am. Activate, activate, activate. Have I? Maybe I'd dinged level 80 before I even chose a spec. Lol, that's funny. That's probably why it only gave me one-handed weapons, not two-handed ones. That's actually really funny. Ha! I hadn't even considered that. Right, sell all of that rubbish. That's probably a familiar pattern, isn't it? The flu was always like free buzz when I had no game time. I have no idea what that means. Oh, a 603. That needs to go on the auction house. 2 603s. Rolling in gear. Yeah, see, as soon as I get into, like, tinkering on any of these characters, this is when you realise just how long all of this stuff takes. And when you multiply that by 100, it gets pretty ridiculous pretty fast. This is kind of why I stopped at 21 teams. I had the initial plan to go to 25 teams, which would be 100 characters. But then there was part of me that was like, ugh, that's definitely too much at that point. I don't care. $603. With Bagnon, you can use the filters to speed it up, e.g. usable and plate. Yeah, that's probably smart, isn't it? Put it in a saved search as well. You lot come up with all the great ideas. Right. Well, that said, we're actually done. Log you out. Right, last team. Last team. Another team of 80s. I need to figure out what my sniper string needs to be. I need it to be really hyper aggressive in that it only shows me absolutely stupid to not buy things, and so then I just buy everything on the list. That's the plan, I think. Right, give me some rares to kill. Nitro. Really hyper focused. It's got to be absolutely easy flip bait. Nitro. Anybody else? Not yet. Let's do bags. Tally? Right, I really need Swigs. Swigs is the one we can't not get. flipping 3 dudes on the same shard again, though. One more Mechanica over here, so that's a grand total of 30, which I don't think is too bad. $30 is not too bad at all, considering I've been very strict. I mean, for starters, that's 30 without me actually doing this process every day. Due to being ill, there were some days where I just didn't. And I've also been kind of hyper focused on not actually spending any more than like an hour and a half to 2 hours doing all of this, even when I have done it. So to get 30 Mechanica out of it, that's still not bad. You know, that's still, even at flipping rock bottom prices, that's $1.5 million. Which is still 5 mil a month from an hour or 2 of farming a day. When you consider that, you know, when you look at herbing and mining, if you do, you know, doing herbing and mining for an hour or 2 every day is going to net you like tiddly amounts. It's very efficient for the short period of time that I do it for. But it's actually quite nice that it's something that you can't theoretically do all day. Because if it was, this is why I am quite glad that you can only kill and loot the rare once per day. Otherwise, you just do it 24 hours a day and you drive yourself into an early grave, which isn't good for anybody. These 80 teams, actually thinking about it, I should take them over to the Nightfall event, shouldn't I? And they get themselves a bunch of easy, quick loot once an hour, every hour, until they've got at least something that looks like reasonable gear. No, Nitro Swigs and Tally looks to be it. Doesn't look like we're getting thwack today, which is fine. Mail. Was that true? Hmm. Still misses a few things. Like I said, I don't really care about the gear on these dudes particularly. I just want them to have some item level so they don't get insta-gibbed. And once they've got something. In fact, thinking about it, when they actually bother to upgrade flipping heirlooms to 80, I'll probably just put a set of heirlooms on them all and not worry about it. Because they don't need gear. They just need, like I said, to not get insta-gibbed. Okay, right. That's then. Haha, there's Thwack. Flipping speak of the devil. Alright, well. Like I mentioned. Oh, we've already logged 2 dudes out. Whatever. Snooze, you lose. Whoa, that lag spike. I've definitely noticed as well that during this like little leveling event, the amount of like 597, 600 and 603 gear that drops from the rares is a lot less. I was getting like 1 or 2 pieces a week per character. But this little leveling event has those goodie bags you get has clearly been put in place of a lot of the gear you get, which is odd. But there was already a flood of that stuff anyway. Right, that was all of the dudes doing their Mechanica farm thing. It did once again take me significantly longer than I expected it to. It took me basically 2 hours to do that. But we did get 30 miscellaneous Mechanica to go spend. So the question becomes is where do I spend it? Where do I spend it? I should probably get one of the mounts that I'm missing. I just can't remember which one I've got and which ones I don't have. What the hell's going on there? No, TSM auctions. There we go. It's the asset advocator I've got. Let me grab the one I don't have then. Let's go get the margin manipulator then, I guess.
Interesting.
Grab one of those. And I'll probably just keep the other Mechanica about, to be honest. So then, if we sell a pet, we can replenish a pet, if you know what I mean. Where did it go? Oh, what was today's data? I've already blasted past, haven't I? But today's data: 115 innovation investigators, 97 asset advocators, 86 margin manipulators. Well, I've got 2 of the 3 in stock now, and I've got all the pets in stock for what are relatively competitive prices. Ha! That margin manipulator's not competitive. What's the... Oh, somebody's posted one at 1.2 mil. Yeah, there ain't no flipping way I'm selling mine at 1.2 mil. I'll post mine in at normal. No, sir, we play in that game. Somebody heard me coming. Yeah, it's 3 on Draenor now. Look at the price disparity. I don't mind doing this. This ramps up the market value. like I said, I'm not necessarily overly fussed about selling them particularly fast. There's only one investigator left. Whoa! Somebody posted one of these for like 1 million gold. And that got snagged. Interesting. Interesting that people are still aggressively trying to sell them. But this is the thing, right? It's kind of like what we always suggest to players who find like some random rare item in their bags, is that if you've got one expensive rare item, selling that is a pain in the ass. Because with one item, you don't want to cancel scan it. You can't even be bothered to log in and list it every day most of the time. One item is just annoying. You're better off selling that one item that you've got super duper mega cheap and let a reseller, a flipper, buy it from you. And they just add it to the list of 80 things they post on that server every day. This is the thing that's going to be a bit of a slow burn for me, is that now we're getting all of these characters across all the different realms in the EU. It's going to be a real slow burn for them to actually have anything to sell, right? The stocking these guys up with stuff that's worth selling is actually going to be quite time consuming in and of itself. It's going to mean that in the next few weeks and months, we might have to pay quite a lot more attention to buying stuff that will have flipping value. Because the step one of flipping stuff is finding what to buy, never mind where to sell it or for how much to sell it for. I was talking with Boofy the other day. He's got a new little, I think it's called Flipping Pal, a new little tool he's built to help in that regard, which we'll look at in a bit more detail at some point soon. But there's also the Undermine Exchange, which is very good for fishing out cool stuff. There's now that they've added this arbitrage mode, it's quite cool for you to be able to see, right, if I want to buy some pets, for example, with arbitrage mode attached, you can see all of the places that have got pets listed for like stupid low prices. And you could say, right, well, this shard is, there's a shard for 1 silver listed on a realm somewhere where the region median is 7k. So I could go, all right, sure, where's that? And I could scroll down and I could find out that, well, it's already gone. Somebody's hoovered it. A Runelight Leaper that's only present on 78% of realms is listed somewhere for a gold. What realm is it listed for a gold on? Thrall. So then we go to our spreadsheet and I say Thrall and Sylvan. Who was it? Runelight Leaper. And we hop on the long boy. Okay, somebody's already had it. But that's kind of the concept there, right? There's a bid price for 1 gold. Clever, clever. That's sneaky, sneaky. I didn't think the Undermine Exchange tracked bids. Maybe it was I don't know. Clearly it does. But, you know, that's conceptually something you can do for, like, buying and selling and flipping and doing all sorts of stuff. But there's the concept of it's just going to take you a while. Recipes. Cheapest price. Region median. So you could say, right, well, there's a recipe somewhere. A stylish blue shirt. Cheap somewhere. Garona, wherever that is. Garona. This is why, for reference, I want load times to be as minimal as possible. So for when we go hopping around the place, snagging deals, that it doesn't take us a million years to log in, log out. Shit. I don't remember what it was I was looking for. I'm going to be honest. I'm lagging. What was it? So there we go. A stylish blue shirt. 3 silver. Probably not going to do much with it, but the reality is when you pay nothing for these things, you sell it for 1,000 gold or something in the future. It's cash in the bank, isn't it? This is kind of the concept. It just sits in. Oh no, hang on. You see, that's also going to be the problem with posting without proper groups. Probably not going to flip that for 25k, but you know, if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, we didn't really lose anything. Aha! Well, Boofy turns up as it is. I was just, well, your ears were either ringing or you were lurking anyway. It will. It's something that I've not tested in too much detail yet. I'm trying out a few different options, but like I said, when I don't sound like this, I will give each option a bit of a fair run and see what goes. When we had the Warband Bank, I found some very old, obsolete items in my other account that I'd not played on for like a decade. It can, yeah, it can absolutely. You know, you find these hidden gems from time to time. Is the lighting switched off? No, it's just my camera has a bit of a... goes a little bit mental because the curtains are open. Sends the white balance into crazy mode. But yeah, this is something that... this is sort of the next stage to this whole little adventure. Getting the characters set up, getting the, you know, getting them in a position where we can farm. What did we got 30 Mechanicas, didn't we? If we can get 30 Mechanicas for like no more than an hour a day worth of effort, that's really good. Generally, like if we can keep that up over a period of time, and if we could also weave in like a bit of a weave in a bit of a sniper scan each and every time we log on a team. So have 4 sniper scans going whilst we realm hop, whilst we kill rares. This will help us with finding some deals without the necessary need of third-party tools. Obviously, we need to set up a sniper operation so it doesn't give us all of this absolute guff. We need to spend some time figuring that out. But once you've got a sniper string that works, then you just run it and it's GG. We can simultaneously then repost anything that's in the bags on each of that tunes. And that makes the whole process of like logging on and reposting stuff, you know, wombo combo, the whole lot really. That's the ultimate plan, so that we get this bit of a not doing too much of any one thing for any long period of time. So you chop it up and you do a few bits and pieces, bit of farming, bit of shopping, a bit of flipping. The one thing that might be smart, I haven't done this yet, but putting all of these tunes in one single guild, now that we have cross-realm guilds, might be worthwhile doing. That might prevent my camera from going completely loopy. Yeah, this is the overall goal for me, to try and... Well, if you are going to have 5 accounts and you're going to keep 5 accounts up and running, you need to make them be worthwhile. You need to make sure that they're paying for themselves. Now, the reality is the Mechanica farm is paying for itself quite comfortably. But additionally, I would like a little bit more flexibility. With it being on 5 account, or well, 4 predominantly, I think putting every tune in a guild, so that I know the warbank is a thing, but what I don't know is what the limitation is on guild banks. Do we or do we not have cross-realm guild banks yet? I don't think we do we? So it might need to be a warband thing. I don't even know. I'm clearly lagging. So you can in essence use a guild bank in the same way you'd use your warband bank. The obvious difference is that your guild bank is just slow. Slow as all hell, and all of the characters have to be in a guild. They work cross-realm. Only minor issue is with withdrawing stacks, but for flipping stuff, it's fine. Yeah, that's really the concept, right? Because I'm probably not going to do too much of the whole, like, buy something on one server, sell it on another server. At least not straight away. Because like I mentioned earlier, with a character on every server, there is no real point doing an auction house run on a character that is posting 3 things. It just becomes completely worth, you know, it's not even worth logging in at that point. So you need like a bunch of stuff on each character at least. But of course, to have a bunch of stuff to sell, you've got to have a bunch of stuff to buy. So a combination of some sniper on each realm, each day, to try and grab a few bargains at the very least. Then we can go deal shopping. I don't know. We'll see. Can't craft from the guild bank, but that's not a problem here. No, you see, this for me, my war bank is full of materials, and so this is why I was thinking about putting all of these guys in a guild, and they can use the guild bank instead. As that way, well, I don't have easy access to a guild bank though, do I? Thinking about it. Oh, well, the goblins do. The goblin characters do, because they've got the pack hobgoblin, haven't they? Is that bank access? Is that generalized bank access, or is that just... It's character, obviously warband is warband restricted. Does this give guild bank access as well? Does Mr. Gobbler give guild bank access? I don't know. This is shit I need to figure out. My my brain is still not quite in gear. I'm not being stupid. There's not like a bank lurking in here somewhere, is there? That I've just never spotted. I don't think there is there? There is in the instanced version, but not in the non-instance version. You need some guild rep to use the portable guild bank. We can figure that out. We can figure that out. Farm an item on X realm, put it in the guild bank, take it out on Y realm, and sell it there. Yeah, see, this is the thing I'm probably not going to do that much of, but because what I would probably like to do is just make it so that anything I'm selling I don't really have competition on. Do what Elon does for starter stock, just make up a load of profession and leveling gear for beginning stock. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We could dabble in crafted at least so that there's some rotation of stuff. And heck, we could even do, not that I want to overly promote this anymore because I think it's been done to death already, this expansion, but even just like some starting stuff like recipes, for example. Stuff that, recipes and pets, stuff that is not big margin, but just stuff to sell, you know, get the ball rolling. You can always, when you know, it can be tomorrow's problem when you have too much stock and need to downsize, but to begin with, yeah, some leveling gear, some basic profession stuff, spread that out, I suppose. Take advantage of the fact that I've got every crafter under the sun min-maxed. Yeah, there's options. I need to give it a little bit more thought. But this is why it's a journey. This is why Rome is not built in a day. I need to figure some of this stuff out, but one step at a time, right? You know, getting the characters, getting the Mechanica, getting some, making it so these accounts at least pay for themselves with the Mechanica right now. Buys me a little bit of time to be able to figure all of this stuff out. And it's not so much that I don't know the answers, it's just I'm a little bit out of practice about doing a lot of this. Really. But boys and girls, you can probably hear my voice. I'm lagging a little bit. I really probably still shouldn't have been streaming today, but I am going to call it there for now. Thank you for joining me back on this Monday. Thank you for Goldson for the raid earlier. Appreciate it. All of the subs and the bits and the love and the support and any follows or anybody that sat through an ad today. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you sticking around. I will drink my tea. Yeah, I'll keep hydrated. I might just go, I tell you what, I might just go lie in the garden. I might just lie in the sun for a couple of hours, absorb some vitamin D, and see how that does me. We'll plan at least to be back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we will absolutely be back on Wednesday because, of course, we get visions on Wednesday, which will be good fun to go and have a little play with and a little bit of explore. Other than that, it's kind of weird. It feels kind of quite quiet in WoW at the moment anyway. So, yeah, I'll go absorb some vitamin D. And I'll be back with you boys and girls tomorrow. I kind of forget these days that there are more people lurking and was Bear online. Bears, see, this is the thing, right? Now Bears has gone full time. I actually have somebody relevant to throw you guys over to. I don't know what she's up to. Wonder Wheel of Destiny, collecting, mount hunting, a little bit of everything. Well, there we go. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? We'll send you over to Bears. Right. Of course, Team YouTube, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. You can make your way where you wish to go. Team Twitch, we'll send you over to Bear. Go say hi. Why is the raid button not working? It's broken. It's busted. No, there we go. It's thinking about it. It's all good. Right. Catch you on the morrow, boys and girls. See you next time. Peace.